Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. So today we are talking about the top IEP mistakes parents make after a divorce and how to actually avoid them. Oh my gosh, I'm like closing my screen so I can't see anything. All right, people make these mistakes all of the time. And what it does is it creates continued stress, friction, animosity, conflict, confusion. And guess who's in the middle? Your child and the rest of the IEP team. They don't want to be there. So let's talk about avoiding some of these mistakes. So as you're walking through your divorce, you're not clarifying who has legal decision-making authority. Maybe you decided that you're going to have joint legal custody. Totally cool. It makes sense. Like, I get that. That's a smart decision. But then you're not in agreement. You're not in agreement about what should happen educationally, what should happen medically, what should happen religiously. So then nothing happens. And not making a decision is actually making a decision. Preventing someone from making a decision is actually controlling that other person. So when you share legal custody, the school has to include both of you. That means somebody can sign the IEP and somebody else can revoke it. They ain't got time to deal with that drama. So you need to clarify who has final say in this, or how are we going to resolve this? What type of tiebreaker do we need to resolve this? Number two, not attending meetings. What I tend to see is that one parent before the divorce is super duper involved in these meetings. The other parent is like, oh, we're getting a divorce. Oh, I know everything. I'm coming to these meetings because I know everything. And then they come in and they try to change things because they're not okay. Usually they're not up to speed on what actually their child needs and what is working. And so to exert their dominance over the other parent, to perform, I'm sorry, I know that doesn't sound very nice, but I've seen it a lot where it's performance for the rest of the team and maybe for some invisible court and jury that is watching them. They come to these meetings and try to dictate and control and really don't participate as a member of a team. And then what happens is as the years go by, they begin to, taper off their attendance. This is about consistency. If you are trusting one parent to go to these meetings, that's absolutely fine. Give them the ability to make those decisions at those meetings too. It doesn't make sense to go to a meeting and somebody actually can't make a decision. So you need to attend. If you are asserting that you should be there at these meetings and you need to attend, and even if it's virtually, you need to get yourself there. Don't delay the progress that your child can make because it doesn't fit into your schedule or because you're really busy fighting with the other parent. That's just selfish. I'm calling it out right now. That's just selfish. Think about your child. All right. Mistake number 3, they use these IEP meetings as a battleground. Just like I said before, it's like an attempt to assert dominance, an attempt to exert control or to show I am the better parent. I am the better parent. Nobody cares. Schools are going to gossip about you anyway, right, wrong, in between. It doesn't matter. They don't care who the better parent is. You know what? They already know. They already know who you are and what you do and what you've done and what you haven't done. They already know. Kids talk, teachers talk. Everybody can see everything in a school environment. Stop worrying about being the better parent and actually be them. Be them. Do not use these meetings as a place like a divorce court to take your battle into the school. First of all, your divorce should not be a battle. Secondly, you're going to get burned. You are going to get burned at a school site if you do this. And it's not going to burn you. It's going to burn your child. It's like, those movies you watch where it's like, we're going to torture you, but the pain's not going to actually happen to you. It's going to be happening to this person that you love so much, you care about so much. That's how we're going to torture you, through their pain. That is what you do when you bring your battle, your divorce disagreements to the school setting, because the school cannot move. They cannot move if you and your soon-to-be ex are in constant disagreement. I mean, they could conceivably override you, but maybe even take you to due process. That's a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of money. Most schools are not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Most districts, most SELPAs, they're not doing that. So they're just going to kind of go, oh, let us know when you're ready, because they don't want to touch that with a 39.5-foot pole. They don't want to do that. Don't bring those don't bring it. Your child gets hurt in that. All right. Mistake number 4, not sharing any documentation, any updates, any provider changes between households. Maybe one parent travels a lot, and so you guys were like, yes, this makes sense. You're the one who's been going to these IEPs all of the time before. Let's just continue that. That's great. You have a lot of knowledge. You really have your finger on the pulse of what our child needs. Please keep making those decisions, because you make great decisions for our kids. Great. So I appreciate you. But then you're busy traveling or something and changes happen, and either they intentionally don't share that information with you or they forget to. Get into the habit of sharing information. I got this from the school, send it to you. Sometimes it's like, oh, great, thank you. Or no, I already had that. I got that like 2 weeks ago. You got this 2 weeks ago and you didn't think to share it with me? Two-way street, people. Two-way street. So as soon as you get some sort of communication from the school site, send it on. Pass it along. Even if they got it already, don't be offended if you got it already. Be like, oh man, thank you. Let me repay the kindness, right? Be considerate and think about your child's co-parent. And mistake number 5, this is not going to come as a surprise to you based on everything else I've said, is you are letting your emotions drive this. You are letting your emotions drive decisions, and they are impacting your child. You're letting fear, anger, guilt dictate what happens in these meetings. You are making decisions to win. Oh, no, not my child. They look fine to me. There's nothing wrong with them. They look fine to me. Why aren't you doing your homework? Why can't you get it done? Are you just dumb? Because for some reason you got to win. You got to have like the best child on the block, the smartest kid in the room. Every kid is smart and gifted in their own ways. Don't let your emotion or your appearance screw what other people think. Don't let your appearance or your desire to appear a certain way negatively impact your child's development. Use the data. Now, if you don't trust the data, that is fine. Go get your own data. Go get an independent evaluation. Happens all the time. Go get that. If you don't trust the data, go get your own data. But do not make decisions in these IEP meetings based on your feelings. You need to make them based on data. And no one should be like, oh, I love this kid so much. They're so great. We're going to exit them out. They're trying so hard. That is a feeling. Feelings are great and they're fine. And like, yeah, you want the team to think your child is great and see the positivity in them. But the decisions must be made based off of data. Okay, so you're not just co-parents. You guys are active members of this IEP team. You are teammates. You need to get on the same page. Do not allow these things to happen in your divorce, because what they're doing is they're actually happening to your child and you are setting them back. Don't do that. Divorce is enough for them to have to deal with. Don't let them deal with your IEP drama on top of that. If you need help preparing for an IEP meeting, if you need help with your parenting plan while you're walking through a divorce, I always have a link below in my description. Find that link, schedule a call with me. I'd love to talk to you and talk with you to see how can we walk through this peacefully so that your child and the rest of your children get everything they need and then everyone can move on with their lives into their happily ever after. If you found this video, please be a good friend and share it with someone who needs it. Have a good day.